Hey everybody, welcome back. It's your pal Trandell here. Making a little quick update video to our negative status effect is good build. One of my viewers on YouTube, I'm going to try to pronounce this, hopefully I get it right, Harry Sinot, did point out, rightfully so, that when I was talking about the armor and why I picked it, I didn't actually show the armor I was using, and that's 100% valid, and that's why I want to get this video out, especially because there's a couple things I want to talk about. Now, most of the time in Remnant 2, and one of the changes I do like compared to Remnant 1, is they took all the really cool set piece bonuses and really cool effects off of armor like they had in Remnant 1. To anybody that did not play Remnant 1, 90% of the really cool, awesome stuff that you found in the game was tied to gear. Not only was it tied to gear, but you had to wear multiple pieces of the same set to get the full benefit of all the different little fun things. That kind of sucked. In Remnant 2, thankfully, they've taken all the cool stuff off of the armor. That way, mostly outside of damage reduction and what weight level you want to run for what type of dodge roll you want, outside of those two instances, armor is pretty much cosmetic. Usually we don't worry about status effects that much, except for when you're doing a build like this one. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to make an actual video update and not just put a list of the armor I was wearing is because I did notice an interaction that I wanted to talk about. I don't know necessarily if it's a bug or an exploit. I don't think it is by the reading of the perk, but it could possibly be. Now, in the previous video, and as you see right here, my status resistances are ridiculously high. And the reason why they're so high is the team perk that the Alchemist has. Now, just by reading it, taking the text at face value, there doesn't seem to be anything that screams bug or anything. Because it doesn't show a cap. It doesn't show like, hey, this only works on curative items, or hey, you can only get so many stacks. It doesn't show anything like that, but I'm also not 100% sure if you're supposed to get that buff every single time you use a buff consumable, which is how my stats are so freaking high. Just by popping some concoctions, I've already got my stats to where they are right now. And now that we're talking about it, I kind of want to test it out. What else do I have? Let's test it out real fast. Okay, so that didn't make it go any higher. So I'm kind of curious. I kind of hate this concoction, but okay, so maybe there is a cap, which, okay, if there is an actual cap, then I'm pretty sure it's not a bug or exploit. But I did want to point that out. That's one of the main reasons why, again, why we went with the Alchemist for our Prime. Outside of the Spirited perk being absolutely busted, that extra resistances that you get and the fact that we can stack so many concoctions, which it looks like it might only be interacting with concoctions because I didn't get anything from the bandage. Let's see about the purified salve. Oh shit, maybe Oh, it did go up. So it depends on the curative. I think, you know what I did notice though? You don't get a buff from the bandage. That might be the reason why. So, unlike all the other curative items, like the ethereal orb, if you notice, all the other ones, you get extra resistances and a buff from those items. You know, like the ethereal orb, the mud rub, the oil skin bomb. You actually get a buff from those. You do not get a buff from the bandage, though. So I'm wondering if it's only consumable items that give you a buff that gives you those added bonuses from the perk. Interesting. Okay. I mean, let's test it out. No, that one didn't seem to. Because I'm still at 10 points where, okay. So it definitely only seems like it's some of them, and it definitely seems like there is a cap. Because that was a concoction I used, and it didn't raise it anymore. So, you can get your, resistances pretty stupid high. And it definitely seems like it's only the first 4 consumable items you use, so I'm gonna guess it's a hard cap of 4. But I just wanted to make that clear. That's why my resistances are so high. Not necessarily because of the gear. Now, the gear I used, and this is the gear. So we got the Leto Mark II for our helmet. We got the Bruiser body plate, the Fey Royal Greaves, and we got the Leto Mark II gloves. Now, kind of like I talked about, these were the items that gave me the best, damage reduction, weight, balance. And these were the ones that gave me the most fire resistance. Because kind of like what we talked about in the video, fire resistance is definitely the one that smacks the hardest. Especially if you're going to be running with something like Firestorm. Where is it? Yeah, Firestorm hits like a freaking truck. 281 damage per second. Even with... Now, with Kinship, again, like we talked in the video, you have to roll Kinship. If you don't roll Kinship, it's not going to feel great. It's not going to feel great at all. But we got to remember, this is a tank build too. We want to be able to tank enemy statuses too. Enemy statuses will not fall under Kinship. So you definitely want to make sure you have those resistances as high as possible. And so far, everything I've seen in the game, fire is the absolute worst. You get a couple stacks of fire on you, and it's not going to feel great. So, there's a quick updated video. Harry, thanks for pointing that out. I wanted to get that out there. I will make sure I get this on, maybe not tonight because it is a little bit late. It's almost midnight. But this will definitely be on as soon as possible. Again, thanks everybody. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. I'm glad you're having fun with the videos. I really appreciate you all. Thanks, Harry, for pointing that out. I wanted to get that updated. And as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll talk again soon.